Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. We are officially into the Chiefs chasing history, the playoff run. We are officially into the divisional round, and we are so excited to get this going. There's so much to talk about tonight. I can't believe the Chiefs are really chasing history right now.
They're great.
Right. Like this team feels like a team of destiny, and I'm just so excited. So I cannot wait to get this playoff run going. But let's get right into it because we have a really awesome guest coming on with us tonight. But first, we're going to introduce ourselves, and then we're going to get into a few little sponsors, and then we're going to introduce our guests. So I'm your host, Lexi.
I was going to say, who are you, Lexi? And I'm Jodi. What's up, y'all? How are y'all today? Like Lexi said, we're just going to go ahead and hop straight into it. Shout out to our first brand sponsor, Pink Lips Cosmetics. Based here out of Kansas City, Missouri, you can currently buy this product right now at your local Target and your local Walmart, where right now, if you use promo code KQ15, you will get 15% off. Lexi has on her lovely red lip that I still am too scared to wear, but I'm going to be an adult, and I have on just my nude lip. My favorite lip gloss, which is in the shade Halo, which
I feel good on you. So
I feel like that's my show color.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's my show color, so you know.
Right? It's what we do. But yes, go onto the website right now and you can use promo code KQ15 and get 15% off. And there's stuff on there for guys too, not just women. So we are equal opportunity. Okay.
Exactly. Like men, if you need like a vitamin C chapstick,
you can't have chapped lips right now. It's gonna be 20 degrees at Arrowhead on Saturday.
If not worse, with like the wind chill. So
literally, right.
Y'all need this. Like, don't sleep on that. So I'm also going to get into Autograph. Big news to share today. We are so excited to be partnering with Autograph, a fandom company co-founded by NFL legend Tom Brady. Their new app, Autograph, gives diehard fans like you a one-stop shop for all the best fan content for your team, obviously the Chiefs. Rewards you for what you're doing already as a fan. So, for example, you can listen to the Kingdom's Queens anywhere, but when you listen on the Autograph app, you earn coins that can be redeemed for amazing rewards, including free, discounted, no-fee tickets, which is important for the playoffs.
Literally.
A+ memorabilia and merch, and a one-of-a-kind experiences. Download the Autograph app in the App Store or Google Play Store today for free and use the referral code Kingdom's Queens. That is referral code Kingdom's Queens.
Because people have Androids. Is that why you said the Google store? Because people have Androids?
Yeah, because people have Androids. Not me, not you.
But I'm like, what is the Google store?
So we got to include them. We're inclusive here. So
I guess I did just say that. You're right.
Right. What's the thing? We listen and we don't judge. So if you have an Android,
listen and we don't judge. You freaking Android.
But also, shout out to us, Jodi. This is our 100th episode. This is really exciting. This is really cool. We just built this from scratch a few years ago. And that's really, really cool. So I'm really proud of us. 100 episodes.
I know. We looked at episode 99 last week and we were like, 99?
Like, wow.
And of course, it's episode 100 and we have like one of the best beat writers in Kansas City on our show with us today. If you want to bring him up, I'll go ahead and intro him, but you guys know exactly who he is. He is the Nate Taylor, who you can find on The Athletic and on Weird Games only on KCSN. Welcome, Nate. We are so happy to have you for your first time on Kingdom Queens.
Yay!
Yeah. Congratulations, ladies. That's the first thing. Because I remember when Jodi told me, and it's the same thing that like we all go through it in life, but you're like, you want me to be on episode 100? Like, okay, are we sure? But no, it's it's a look. I'll just say, speaking, I guess from afar, but not really from afar, based on our little chat beforehand. I've always enjoyed kind of tuning in every once in a while whenever I have time. So that's great. I listen to probably more podcasts than people realize. because I always enjoy everybody's thoughts really about the team, and to your point, Lexi, about the the historical nature of this season. So I'm thrilled. You guys have given me a great stage. I'm so happy to be I guess included in the first 100. It's amazing. So thank you all for asking and reaching out, and hopefully we can have a good time. But yeah, this is something that when you guys reached out, I was like, of course, like this is this is a podcast that I really enjoy, because it's pretty much the only way I was like introduced to both of you all. And then you realize like a lot of people, there's a lot of commonalities, there's a lot of fun nature to it. Like I can tell you guys, you ladies have fun. And that's kind of what
we do over here.
Yeah, it's what it's supposed to be. So yes, no better time to get the worthy the worthy congratulations and the honestly the praise and the admiration that I have from over here to you all.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's really nice.
That was really kind. Yeah. That was very kind.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, well, of course.
Let's get into episode 100. So now, Nate, it's so funny because like every time I hear, or me and Lexi listen to you like literally everywhere, where it's either you're at stadium or you're asking questions, or you're on any of your podcasts that you're on. But
or the franchise is awesome. You're always on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm an episode behind on that, by the way. But
you gotta watch the new one. I just watched that earlier today.
That's actually on my list for either today or tomorrow. But me and Lexi do genuinely want to know, like, how did you get into this career? Like, of course, we're going to talk Chiefs, but we do want to know some about you too. Like, how did this all start for you?
No, I appreciate that. I mean, I remember, for people that don't know, and I try to say it as much as I can, but I'm from Kansas City. This is home. This is my hometown. I grew up on the Missouri side. I know I'm
on the Missouri side.
So. I live on the Kansas side. That's just it's just reality. But yeah, I mean, I went to Hickman Mills High School, and I was introduced to sports journalism by Miss Karen Black, which was my junior English teacher, I believe. And she also ran the school newspaper and the yearbook. And when you're like in high school, you're trying to figure out like, what do I want to do? Do I want to be a lawyer? Like, do I want to be like how long is medical school? Don't want to do that. Okay. Okay, there's this thing where you can write and you can cover games and athletes, and like, I was a decent athlete in high school, but I was well aware to know that like there's no way I'm doing anything in college. So what can I do that's fun? I got to give a shout out to my guy Anthony Graham, who was like, you should write for the school newspaper. You should write sports. And that's really how it all began. I got into like journalism camps, like junior, senior year. Once it was like, I want to be very clear, people. He can write a sentence and then write another one, and it makes sense. Like that is like amazing. So yeah, I went to Central Missouri for college. I did that from I graduated high school in 2006. I graduated from college in 2010. And then I bounced around quite a bit, and it was actually, I've said this before, but it was actually Holly, my wife, who got us to come from Indianapolis in 2017 back to Kansas City. And then within a matter of 9 months, I was recommended by, people in the industry, people I had grown up with, Russ and Dodd. I know Therese played a role, Therese Paylor, of course.
Yes.
And because I remember calling him when he left. This is crazy. I remember calling him when he left the Star to go to Yahoo. And I was like, what are they going to do? Like, like, can I come home, basically?
Right.
I think that was in like 2013, 14, somewhere in there. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it was, or when he got the job, I guess. When he got now my memory's coming back. When he got the job to be the Chiefs beat writer, he was covering Mizzou. So I was like, let me go like see if there's like a Mizzou opening at the Kansas City Star. And so he knew I was back in town. A lot of people knew I was back in town. I did the whole interview process. So they traded Alex Smith in I want to say late January of 2018. Then I started the job April of 2018.
Oh,
And
wow.
so fortunately, I've seen every part of the Mahomes era since it began. But I was very fortunate. I was very lucky. I wrote for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for 9 months. So before any before any game, it's wild. But before any game, I'm so glad that like I got to hear the intro by myself this time. But when they do the national anthem, and everybody's standing up in the press box, like I'm almost at eye level across I-70, across from FCA's campus.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's like a direct line of like that's where I used to be.
That's
where I am now. And so it's been awesome to be at the Athletic, and I've tried to treat the job with a lot of fun and a lot of sincerity. And I remember, no one, I don't have to explain to people whether it's in the parking lot or wherever, like, nah, man, I remember I'm trying to explain to my 9-year-old son Hayden, like, that 1995 divisional round was child. I was there when Joe Montana got concussed.
Yeah.
I was there.
So were you like 10 years old?
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember the whole Elvis Gerback, Rich Gannon debate and being like, we made the wrong decision, which is funny because like I've talked to both guys, as a reporter now, and it's like, thank you, Elvis, for talking to me. I did not want you to be the quarterback of the 1997 playoffs.
Literally.
Like at all. And so it's an amazing job. I've interviewed, a lot of guys from the past I grew up watching, and obviously I'm covering the team today. So that's a very short version of how I got here. But I've covered the NBA, I've covered, college football back in Florida. But this is the best job I've had by far in my career.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it is.
Right. I love that. And you get to be back home in Kansas City.
Yes,
so I mean,
yeah.
The best of both worlds, especially when it's a winning world. I'm like, enjoy the moment that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So, I didn't think it was gonna be like this. I don't think anybody did. So that is a very great point, Jodi.
No, not at all.
This is like unforeseen circumstances that you were blessed to just, and so are we. I mean, even us starting our podcast a few years ago, like we didn't know what kind of run they would be on, and then since we've started, they've won 2 Super Bowls, so it's been really fun over here as well. So
it's actually a reason. So
yes,
when we stop podcasting, that's when they're going to stop having Super Bowls. So that we come to, it's like,
they need us, okay?
It's totally us. Like this is season 3 for us too. So
great, yes, honestly, fantastic. Because I think we're all trying to like savor these moments, and it goes faster than you realize, and fast. I mean, I was just talking to I wrote today for a story that'll be in the Athletic tomorrow, but it's like I'm in the locker room today and I'm talking with Kareem. And, I was there during 2018 and everything that happened there, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, that's right. You have never played a playoff game with Patrick before.
That's crazy.
And it's like, and it's just like, time just flies. And you're like, hey, it's his story has been very telling this year, just his appreciation for being back. And at the same time, you're just like, I cannot believe like you haven't played a playoff game.
Yeah. With the Chiefs, like
since you were a rookie, since you're a rookie, and now they got a chance to three-peat.
Not with this Chiefs team, like that's
right. Yeah, so you could be it's like I'm telling him like you could be a major part of like a three-peat, and that's wild,
Yeah. A lot of them actually. So I mean, let's just go ahead and segue into Chiefs. I mean, we can't help ourselves.
We'll get there.
We can't help ourselves, right? So, I mean, like, originally, I think the first question that we were going to ask you was like, what do you think about like all the interviews and things of that nature happening with currently like Spags and the GM situation and all of this? Like, So my thing is like Spags just signed another contract in the off season, and now all of these teams are like, "Hey, boo, what you over there doing? You ready to come back home to the East Coast?" What are like? I know you've like been in the locker rooms and hearing everything. Like, what are your thoughts about all these interviews that are happening? And do you think anybody's gonna actually like leave?
That's a great question. I don't have a definitive answer yet, Jody. I think we're gonna find out next week would be my guess, right? Because the way that the NFL is structured, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. Like,
yeah,
you're actually incentivized if your team loses, which is wild. But like, because then you have time to just like we can just talk to you whenever, because like your season's over. If the Chiefs win on Saturday, then like there's a small window for you to talk to like Steve Spagnuolo or Matt Nagy again. I think as of right now, Spagnuolo's probably got a better chance of getting a head coaching job than Nagy at this point. I want to keep people in mind that like Aaron Glenn from the Lions, he is becoming a hot commodity. And so it's like, what happens if the Lions win on Saturday? Like,
right.
You know,
great. He's so good. I really like him a lot too.
What he's done with that defense and their backups, like, that's wild.
So Spags is in like no rush necessarily to be a head coach. If the opportunity presents itself, then that'll be great. I do get the sense that Mike Bergonzi, the assistant general manager, like, could he and Steve Spagnuolo, or could he and Matt Nagy be a package deal in New Jersey for the Jets? There's potential there, but at the same time, like, is an owner going to be patient enough? And this was always the issue with Eric Bieniemy too. Like, hey, even if you were to hire Eric Bieniemy when he was the offensive coordinator, you might have to wait till after the Super Bowl to like get him, you know. And I think Andy's also very clear too of like, if you're on the team, like you're not going to get hired and then like leave, you know, like we have a mission in front of us.
Exactly.
Like, so we're not
done here.
And so I get the sense that I think the Chiefs will win on Saturday. I think most people probably agree with that. But if they win, then you might get a little bit more momentum with Spags. You might get a little bit more momentum with Bergonzi, because he seems to be a possibility in both Tennessee and with the Jets. The Jets should try to have it in place where like, well, these two people have worked together already. These two people align to some degree with like how they've built the Chiefs, and like we could try to replicate that to some degree. But it'll be tough if, say, like Jacksonville offers, you know, Steve Spagnuolo the job, and you're like, is it great? I don't know. Like, you know, it's an opportunity and you would take it. I don't think, you know, I know Steve talked to the Raiders. I'd be shocked if the Raiders hired him.
Oh my God.
Shocked. Be utterly shocked. But, you know, stranger things have happened.
Right.
So I get the sense that like the best possibility right now appears to be, how disciplined do the Jets want to be? And does that come down to Bergonzi and Spagnuolo, both East Coast guys, working together in tandem so that you don't have like, you know, two people who are trying to get to know each other while also trying to run an NFL team?
The Jets are, if it's me, there's 31 teams out there. The last team I'm picking is the Jets. Like, that is the most dysfunctional organization I've ever seen. And like, I get what they're trying to do. Like, let's bring two guys in here who got their life together, and maybe they can help clean this up.
Right.
They need a lot of things.
Jesus
over there.
All of it. Like, what do you? I don't. Also, like, why would you say the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl and we don't win, even though I really think we would if we got there? You're still in your window. Do you want to give that window up right now? You know what I mean?
The money would have to be right. You'd have to get like a 3 or 4 year, you know, contract to know that like even if it doesn't go right in the first 2 years, I'm still gonna get paid down the line, because like that money will be guaranteed, which is that's always the secret, guys. Like coaching contracts are guaranteed, player contracts are not. Mostly. So
Yeah, isn't it like Josh McDaniels still set to make like from the
still getting
Raiders,
money.
still making money for like 3 more years.
Still getting money.
Good for him.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good
I
for
mean,
him.
you know, everybody might forget this, but like, you know, in 2019 or excuse me, 2018, Steve Spagnuolo was not in the league, but he was still getting paid by the New York Giants.
Mhm.
And then that contract ran out, and then the
He's like, all right.
the Chiefs fired Bob Sutton, and I remember being like,
they cooking up something.
like I've talked to enough people, this is done. Like,
Yeah.
like I have to write it like it's not done, but if you read the story, it's done.
All but done.
In between the lines, guys.
Yes.
Read
Yes.
in between the lines.
And the thing is with Spags is like he struggled for the first, I would say, year or two here at least. Not that he struggled, but it was an adjustment for everyone, right? So it took a minute. And I mean, I remember in his first 2 years, everyone's fire Spags, like terrible, you know, whatever. And I'm like, looking back, my God, like thank God we didn't fire him or whatever, like didn't roll with.
I mean, they could have done that for like every coach at this point. Fire Spags.
Anytime a bad loss happens.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Poor Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I get the sense that if you're going to leave, yes, thank you, Liz. You're correct. If you're to leave, you got to know, man, I need like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be like, okay, you know, maybe you go to the playoffs in year 1, year 2, but that doesn't mean like things are fixed, right?
Who's your quarterback?
Well,
that's a huge.
You taking Carson with you? You bringing Carson? Like who's your
I haven't thought that far, but like those are the questions you got to ask. Is like, are you bringing Aaron Rodgers back?
Right.
You probably shouldn't do that. You know, like
I'm leaning no.
Yeah, like you probably, you know, I don't want to tell you how to run your team, but like no. So yeah, it's a fascinating thing, but I just want people to know that like as long as the Chiefs keep winning, that helps your team, but it actually might not help the candidate because owners get impatient. Like it's just like, come on, man, I want to see the staff. I want to see the vision. Like, you know, the Patriots fired and hired somebody in basically a week. You know,
literally,
and
so
they are it's very success right now driven league.
Yes.
Right.
So if something's not working, like I don't know if I don't remember always being this way, like this much, but yeah, it's like if you're not having success, it's pretty much you're done.
Which is wild to say though, because there are some teams that are not having success and they've had their coaches forever and they won't make the adjustment, like or even fire their GMs, i.e. like the Saints. You know what I mean? Like there's some places where they will not get rid of people and they just rather be stuck in the hell cycle that they're in. So it's like, what are you trying to do? Like even last night I was having a conversation about the Vikings and I'm like, Sam Darnold can't do it. He can't do it. So
it was rough. God, it was rough.
It was bad.
It was rough.
But it's like, what do? Do you really go with JJ McCarthy? Can he win 14 games next year? Can he win a playoff game next year? Can he get you back in this situation? Or do you
say like to win 14 games was incredible because I don't think that's happened a lot for like a first year quarterback in a system like that.
Yes.
speaks
But
to the coaching.
And you know, I also feel like I was listening to Kevin O'Connell after the game and he was like, there was so much more he could have done as a coach too to put them in better positions. Like he had Sam Darnold and all these dropbacks over and over, and he's just getting sacked. Like right. And I'm like, you need some like that's where Patrick had to adjust this mid-season, late season. Like he had to just get the ball out. Like you're not just like waiting on your. I know you have superstar wide receivers all over on that team, right? Like that you can't just be waiting for them to be getting open, and then you just. Taking all this pressure, like dying in the pocket. So I think there was a lot of malpractice on the Vikings.
It just tells you how like it tells you how hard it is to play this sport when you realize Man, all that success that you've had, and in 2 weeks, it just
Gone.
gone. Like, you went for being the potential 1 seed,
Yeah.
getting a week off, which I can't stress enough is like so crucial to these guys' bodies, to their own like mental and like psychological situation, to whether you can stay focused or not, to like, okay, we're not the 1 seed, we're the 5 seed, and like, okay, now we got to play the Rams, and unfortunately, it's on the road. Unfortunately, like, we're not even going to LA because of the wildfires and that tragic, just terrible situation.
Yeah.
Now we're going to Arizona, and they didn't look they don't look like the team they were for the majority of the season. And that's really unfortunate. But that's why your quarterback is supposed to galvanize the group when things aren't going well, when things like, you're supposed to be the one that sort of reignites the situation, or helps the coach as much as the coach is trying to help you. And that's one of the brilliant things about Patrick.
I was gonna say,
is understanding that, like, there are moments when I really need to like push guys. There are moments when I need to do something different schematically, or just my own mentality about how I want to play the game, and then infusing belief in everybody around you so that everybody can sort of come together, and try to fix things before it gets too late. Not to say you're going to be successful all the time, but I love that fact that, as much as I appreciate Kevin O'Connell, I mean, it was like, hey man, you got to help your quarterback at one of the standpoints and times. Like, your quarterback also has to like stop taking the punishment, stop taking the hits, like,
exactly.
Like, find the answers. So
that's where we're just lucky to have Patrick in that way, where he knows when to adjust, and he knows how to not take hit after hit after hit after hit like that. Woo. Like, it's brutal to watch.
The adjustment piece is the most important part of everything you just said, because if you aren't able to make adjustments after halftime in the third quarter, like, if you're not able to sit down and be able to figure that out, you're going to die on the field. And I'm so glad that we are not at that part in our life anymore. But talking about dying on the field, that's such a terrible segue.
Oh my God.
So the left tackle situation. The left tackle.
Here we go.
For a minute now.
Situation. So I mean, it's a huge topic, and you're literally hearing it on every single podcast, every single radio station at this point. Because what are we doing? Are we going to start Humphreys? Or are we going to start Tooney? What is that going to look like? We've seen what Joe Tooney has been for us over the last few weeks. I think I'm glitching. Am I glitching?
A little bit. Yeah, you're glitching.
Just a little, yeah. But I can hear you, yeah.
Amazing. We've seen what he's been for us for the last few weeks. So it's like, do you continue to go with that? Or do you make the adjustment and you start with Humphreys? What are y'all thoughts on that?
Here's what I want to be very clear. What I would do, and I've said this on a couple of places, and I'll say it here too. What I would do is, for the mental clarity of Patrick, I would stay with Joe Tooney.
Same.
Really?
I would too.
Because he's played, because the last 3 games are enough of a sample size that I understand that, like, Joe's not going to be great, but Joe's not going to get Patrick like blindsided. Like, that's the thing you don't want. And Joe, for 3 games, has at least demonstrated that, hey, I won't get Patrick blindsided. I will keep my body between him and the quarterback as best I can. But I also understand too that, like, the coaching staff, the front office, that obviously includes general manager Brett Veach, like, they signed DJ Humphrey to play left tackle in the playoffs. Like, so what I think will happen is that Andy will give DJ Humphreys the chance to start the game probably on Saturday, and you'll just adjust as whatever happens in the game. The Chiefs will have 2 weeks of practice. Now, I know that's not a game, and I know Patrick's only played with DJ for 1 game, and that was against the Chargers, that Sunday night game. And I want to say, was it early December, late November?
It was like first December game,
yeah. So, so they only had the 1 game. He had the unfortunate left hamstring that he strained or pulled, whatever medical term you want to use. I would play Joe Tooney. I think they're going to probably start with DJ Humphries at left tackle and Joe Tooney at left guard.
Interesting.
And I think the reason for that is DJ will be given plenty of time last week and this weekend to practice. And both of those guys will be at their natural positions, even though they haven't played really together all season. But I do know it's another adjustment for Patrick. And of course, he's capable enough to do that. Me personally, I'm like, you've given him some trust, a level of like calmness if Joe Tooney's back there. But if DJ can get through the game and be capable, then you put Joe Tooney back at his natural position, and who knows, maybe the offensive line plays amazing. But it is a gamble. I do want to make that clear. Like, if the offense struggles in the first quarter with DJ Humphries on the field, whether it's his fault or not, people are going to be like, what is going on?
What's happening?
My question is, how willing do you think Andy Reid is to, like, okay, because I think he'll probably start with DJ Humphries if I had to guess, unless it's like just a horrible week of practice. But I feel like he's going to do that. And now, in some ways, I think that's good for our run game, because I do think our run game didn't look as strong with Joe Tooney at left tackle and Mike Caliendo at left guard. So I think in that sense, I think it's a good thing, perhaps, to have Tooney back at left guard, because like even guys like Pacheco doesn't have the best vision, hell of a hard runner. But when he has Joe Tooney in front of him at left guard, I feel like Pacheco does a lot better.
I think you're onto something.
Right? So kind of there. My other thing is, like, if that's really just for whatever reason not working, do you think at half, like, Andy would put Joe back at left tackle and then you mess up that whole, like, it's hard. I mean, that's
hard.
It's really hard. The only thing I can say is, against the Texans last time we played them, it was Joe Tooney.
It was Tooney and Caliendo.
There's no film or anything on him. They have nothing to go off of or gauge off of, which is why I could see them starting Humphries over Tooney, and then bring in case of emergency, bring the guys back out there and put them back where they're supposed to.
Andy Reid does not like to make changes. I want to make that very clear. You know, people. I remember we were in the locker room after the game against the Bengals, right? And I was just like, you know, and this is me and other reporters. We're just kind of like, you know, talking like everybody else. You know, it's just our bar is the press box after the game. That's the only difference, right? We all got a job to do, but like, you know, we're still discussing it just like everybody else is. And I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way he's benching Kingsley. Kingsley's starting next week against the Falcons. Like, there's no way, right? Like, he sat him down for a second. Take a breather, young man. He'll get all the reps next week. He'll be back against the Falcons. And then we're in Atlanta before the game, and I'm like, oh snap! Like, they really benched him, you know, because there's Wanye, and you're like, okay, you know, maybe this is just for one game, you know, and it's like, no, Wanye started again and again and again. You know, and it's just like, man, okay, well, Patrick screams at Patrick is screaming because Wanye is physically compromised with knee injury, and he's getting beat constantly by the Raiders, and it's like, okay, they're gonna go to Joe, or they're gonna go to, or it's like, okay, well, they're gonna go to Joe for now, but like DJ will play next week, and then of course like DJ gets hurt, and you're just like, oh my god, like
I couldn't even like. I was like,
oh my goodness, that was
time. So all the precedent, all the things I've seen for 6 years on the beat have just been like blown up, because he's just like, hey man, like, can you play left tackle? Can you play left tackle? Like, he's gone against a lot of his like norms, and
I completely agree. Like, it's almost like it's
the adjustment that we were talking about. You have to be able to make the adjustment, even if it's something you are not comfortable with and you're fully going against, but it clearly worked out in the best for us.
Right. Even though he doesn't want to do it, he knows I don't want to lose Patrick. So I'm sorry, Wanye. We got to pull you with like 10 minutes left in the game. I'm sorry. We have to do it. You know?
I think it's nice to know, though, that like if DJ Humphries starts, I think it's nice to know if that doesn't work, and it's like really, really going badly, we
They
can
will go
change it
back.
out. We can change
Yes.
it. Like,
Yes. Right.
hopefully,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, hopefully we don't get to like worst case scenario.
I
And it's like,
know.
all right,
but
where's Wanye? Out there somewhere. We might need to go find one.
Oh,
Hopefully we
God.
don't get to that.
he is there
Can
for
you
backup
imagine?
if we need.
Yeah. I mean, and let's not forget, ladies, this is the playoffs. Like, I want to
Win or go home.
Yes, I want to be very clear. We saw them. What was it? 2 years ago, they were playing the Jags, another AFC South team, and they went right down the field. And I said, "Oh, this is comical." Like, they went right down the field, and then like what it was the drive or the next drive later, and it's like Patrick got hurt, and I'm like, "Oh, that's right, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen." Like,
yeah, literally.
What was I thinking? Like,
yeah, literally.
Yeah, and so you never know. Like, there are so like random things that you cannot foresee sometimes in a playoff game. I mean, you know, they didn't score in the second half against the Ravens last year, and you're just waiting for like the other shoe to drop. You're like, well, okay, now Lamar's gonna like do something.
He's gonna
crazy.
turn it on,
yeah, and it's like, okay. Well, he didn't there. It's like,
thank God
okay.
he didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, okay, like, wow, like Snead forced him to fumble the ball. Like, that's okay. And then like, you know, and all of a sudden, like, why is Lamar Jackson throwing the ball into triple coverage? Like, that's just me in the press box. I'm like, wow.
Wow,
and
okay.
So you can't play a worse game I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
And you're just like, but it's the playoffs. So like anything, you give me any scenario, and I'm like, I mean, you know, the pressure of there's no tomorrow, there's no next week. Like, it's just it creates it creates different things. And so it's like
we're just so used to our team just going round after round after round.
Yeah.
I don't even think of the possibility of it like ending this weekend, but I'm like, it could end this weekend.
Well,
really
that makes me ask this question. Like, now we are in playoff mode, and we have Jalen Watson back. We have Hollywood Brown back, who we were not even expecting to be back. Isaiah Pacheco back. What are our thoughts going into this playoff run now with almost everybody healthy but Rashee Rice?
So Jalen Watson's going to play. That's not a secret anymore. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that'll help the defense. As I wrote today, and again, it'll come out in the Athletic tomorrow. Like, this is as fresh and as healthy as Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco have both been this season. So that should encourage Matt Nagy and Andy Reid to run the ball a little bit, right? To have some balance to the offense. We saw what Hollywood Brown did. I want to that guy deserves a massive amount of credit, because there were some people in the organization that was like, well, he's never been with us before. He's not been with our training staff. This is a whole new like weird injury. Like, it's gonna take the whole season. So like, it's gonna like he's gonna have to be diligent. It's gonna be hard, and like he might not. You know, you might work all this in treatment and rehab and whatever, and you just might not be ready to play. Like, that's just the reality of it. He comes back sooner than people expect, and I thought the coaching staff did a good job of like not exposing him a ton.
Yes.
And now he's in like football shape, and it's just like, wow.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden, I know that. Okay, this is the most hilarious things, ladies. So today, we got to do the indoor thing. I said this on Only Weird Games too. They didn't let us see anything. They didn't let us see. All I saw was stretching, and that was it. They said, "Get up out of here."
Like, you can see warm-ups. That's it.
Like, there's your 15 minutes. Bye.
Yeah. I'm like, we can't see I can't see a handoff. No, like not a single one between Patrick and any of the running backs. And it's like, okay. What was funny to me was
nothing on film. Nothing.
Like nothing. You know. And so the funny thing was, as I'm watching the stretching and the usual like whatever, I'm like, they're still taping Patrick's ankles like he
Like
just had the injury.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
it's like
That was a month ago.
yeah, it's like he's healthy. Like what are we doing? You know, but it's just like and one of the other
Don't risk
reporters was
anything.
like, well,
Don't risk anything.
he's just used to it, right? He's just used to ankles like tape up to like halfway up his shin or whatever. And you're just like, but dude, I've seen you run. Like you're
Right.
fine.
You're good.
I've seen
Yeah. So like he's not even an issue, right? In terms of like mobility and like, you know, his own ankle strength. Like he's not on the like I know McCole was limited today. I think McCole will probably play. They're just going to slowly, you know, as Andy would say, slowly ramp him up for game day if he's needed to be available as like, you know, specialty kickoff returner, punt returner, you know, things of that nature. Obviously, he can be involved in jet sweeps. He can go obviously on deep routes. You know, he can fill in for whoever. You know, if you're just tired or something happens with a guy from an injury standpoint during the game, McCole can slide in and can run any position in the offense from a wide receiver standpoint because he's been here the longest. So I want to remind people of that too. Like McCole coming back is important because what if something happens to like, you know, not that you don't want this happen because you don't, but what if something happens to Xavier Worthy? Well, McCole Hardman knows the offense. Same for Justin Watson. Same for Juju Smith-Schuster. So there's a reason why you would want to bring him back, even though he was technically limited today.
Yeah.
I just think this is as healthy as the team has been.
Yeah.
And now you add potentially DJ Humphries. You got Kareem Hunt. You have, you know, DeAndre Hopkins, Samaje Perine. I mean, these are dudes that were not here at training camp at all.
No, that's so wild to think about.
Yes. Yeah. To potentially like help your team. Yes. Yeah.
I don't even want to think about the off season and like looking back at all their 1-year deals. Like, how many of these guys can we bring up? I'm not even gonna go there yet.
I literally can't go there yet, but I will say this is one of the most, if not the most exciting playoff offense I think we've had as a Chiefs team. I'd say it's up there with
if they can protect Patrick. That's all that matters. If they, you're right, Lexi. If you tell me this man's not gonna get hit like that often, then I can completely agree with you because.
But imagine like saying back in like July that we're gonna have DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, like all these guys,
all healthy.
We were already excited.
Wait, who is the guy? I'm blanking on his name right now. That was the Packers tight end for forever that we brought in. I'm blanking on his name. Robert Tonyan.
Yes. He's on the
practice squad, right?
Is he doing anything?
I mean, he's learning the offense via the practice squad. You know? I mean, he's almost. I use this term a lot. I know Jodi asked you this. I remember you asked me this like a couple weeks ago. Like, hey, he's in break in case of emergency, in case something happens with like Peyton Hendershot or God forbid.
Who else came
in? Favorites. No, you know, something happened to Noah Gray. Like, okay, like you have somebody else.
Yeah.
It's the same for like Joshua Uche. Like you're not gonna see him on Saturday, but if something were to happen, maybe he can be available for the championship game.
Funniest.
I was angry watching Week 18. I was like, "Are you sick?" Okay, all right, guys.
Look,
fine.
You
win.
Yeah, people asked me that day. I can't remember what game it was. So people asked me that day, and I'm like, no, I have it down. Like I know they've already made their decision, and like, I'm sorry, guys, you're just gonna have to like catch up. But like, he's not playing, you know. And Charles Omenihu, like no one, like people don't talk about him, but like he's a free agent after this. So what if Charles Omenihu has a great postseason? Like that'll set himself up to maybe maximize.
He's such a
as well, and yeah, he's healthy as well. So like he was coming off the ACL back in training camp and whatever it was October, and now he'll be playing probably more than half the snaps on Saturday, like against a former against his former team that drafted him. I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So think about that. There's all these different like storylines or perspectives to think about, but I mean. They are. Yeah, the best.
Or go ahead. Sorry, finish what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the best feeling if you're a Chiefs fan is we have the better quarterback, we have the better, more experienced coach, and all our guys are healthy.
Yeah,
all our guys except for Rashee Rice are healthy and are gonna be motivated to play their absolute best on Saturday. That should give you as much comfort as you can have entering, any playoff game.
What do you think about? I guess sorry. Okay, so like the mainstream media is pushing the narrative of. What are you laughing at me for?
Because I'm both a part of it and not. But yes, I know where you're going.
What do you think of the rusty versus rested narrative that's going on with the Chiefs?
Hey man, you take them hits and tell me if you're rusty. Come on.
Exactly.
I understand. Like, there's we as human beings get nervous with anticipation. Like, some of our worst fears come into the fact that, like, oh man, but they haven't played in like 3 weeks. Like, professional football players forgot what it was like to play football. Like, I understand.
Like, they don't go through an entire off season and then have to play a game.
Yeah, like a practice or like training camp
run.
Yeah, so like, if the game's not relevant, you don't have to play. And you worked this entire season to get the easiest path. Yes, to get the easiest path for this to get to New Orleans. Because I remember when they asked me on the franchise, when they asked me about like why does the 1 seed matter, and I just I gave them like 10 things. I was like, this is very easy, guys. Like, you don't travel, you don't have to go anywhere. You get to sleep in your own bed. You don't have to go nowhere. You don't have to play a game like that like really matters. Like, the Houston Texans, they have like 6 guys on the injury report, and I'm like, they all played on Saturday. And that was the hardest game of their season, and now they get to go up a whole nother level. So I know like people get afraid of like rust, but if the Chiefs lose, it will be because like the other team was better that day, or they had a better game plan, or they surprised you in some way that like, one of the things that I always find fascinating is if you play a team earlier in the regular season, but you lost, like the Chiefs lost to the Bills.
Yep.
You might have beat them.
You might have more information as to how to actually beat them down the road. So that's where Houston is. Like, if you're Houston, how can we find ways to better ourselves to go against them when they beat us pretty easily, especially in the second half?
Yeah.
How do we fix it? Like, we have to find the answers more so than like the team that beat us has to find the answers. So it won't be because of us. It'll be because of like 20 other factors that are actually football related.
Right.
Or it's us literally giving the ball up 2 times in 5 minutes at the goal line.
Yes.
Something that we did,
something crazy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If you make
that
your
story
own
before.
Yes. Hey man, I know everybody's killing Justin Herbert, but it's like, bro, it went through his hands right to the other guy. So like, what do you like? It's not all on Justin Herbert. It's on his offensive lineman.
Two were on him, 2 were on the other guy.
Yes, like it's like some of it is on his offensive lineman, some of it's on receivers, some of it's on the coaching. Like, so there's more reasons why you might lose than just rust, or there's more reasons why you might win because you were rested. Like, at some point the better team will show up, and whether that's in the first quarter or it takes all 4 quarters to figure that out.
Yeah. So what are your keys to winning this game? And then like, who would you say are your X factors? I know we only got you for a little bit longer, so trying to get all your brain out of you. Like you're gonna go rapid fire here. Like,
look. I just want everybody to know that Jodi is the first person that has asked me this week. So like, she's getting the best answer because the key to winning, other than like, don't do nothing stupid, don't turn the ball over. It really comes down to, in my opinion, what can you offer that is slightly different from the first game we watched.
Mm.
And I think they will do some things with Hollywood Brown that they haven't shown all year because he's only played 2 games.
Yeah.
I think the X factors might be Hollywood Brown and Travis Kelce. I pray for the Texans.
Do you think we'll see more than 50% snaps for DeAndre Hopkins?
Oh yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, that'll happen. or it'll be like it'll be around there, because obviously Indy likes to rotate guys in and out, and so like you understand that. But I think it really comes down to like if Hollywood can perform to his absolute potential in this offense, which again we haven't seen. We're only asking you to do that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know how the Texans will cover Travis Kelce because all that space is going to be reopened for him in the middle of the field, and it's
Because
one
of
reason.
Hollywood and Worthy and
Mhm. And it's
And
and
DeAndre Hopkins or
Yes.
freaking
Yeah.
Juju or
And we-
Justin Watson.
Noah
and we-
Gray, like Jesus
yes,
Christ.
we all know they ad lib. We all know they think alike, and so if there's a scramble drill, he's probably going to Travis Kelce. If it's a third down in the red zone, he's probably going to go to Travis Kelce. But
Right.
you also have to be mindful of like all the other people.
Yeah.
I know that Kelce knows exactly what he needs to get out of his body to play at
Right.
the absolute top of his level, and he's only going to do it now in the postseason, guys. That's
Yeah,
it. Like he's not going to do it in October.
Literally.
I think if
No,
like we have any evidence of that, it was last season. Like I mean, he
Yes.
had a good
Literally.
regular season last year,
Yes.
but in the playoffs, it was like, oh no, this is Travis. Like
This
this
is
is the
different.
Travis.
Remember? Do you remember? Wasn't it last year when he had back spasms going into the game? And
That
we
was
were
2
all
years
like,
ago. Yeah,
that
that
was
was 2 years.
but even
That's
still,
2
then it was like,
Yes, yeah, he was still
what,
great in that
what
game.
player are we going to
Yeah.
get from this
Yes.
guy? So
Yes, he was. I'll never forget that AFC Championship game where yes, he had the back spasms, and he still played very, very well.
Very well.
In that game, and I mean, I think on the defensive side, I do think, however good Jalen Watson is, will be massive.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
now I think, and again, it's not about necessarily him, Jalen Watson. It's about him unlocking all the other guys. It's about all of a sudden now we can blitz the way we want to blitz because we
Mhm.
have Jalen Watson, Trent
Yeah.
McDuffie, Justin
absolutely.
Reed, and maybe Brian Cook is like the deep
Right, yep.
safety, and we don't think we'll give up a big play. So
Yes.
like you're I don't know what's the best way of saying this? Like you're mitigating or lessening your risk,
Mhm.
but you're increasing your reward if we do blitz and we do sack CJ or we do force him into like a bad throw. I thought one of the funniest things about the regular season finale against the Broncos is that the man couldn't blitz. He's like, I want. So I'm like, how often is he gonna blitz on third down? That being Steve Spagnuolo, because he trusts the fact that Jalen Watson isn't gonna get beat over the top if it's a one-on-one.
Yep.
Well, and I think like the Texans O-line is something we really need to take advantage of.
Absolutely. 100%. There's no, we should be able to get to CJ. They should have been able to watch the films yesterday.
I need some CJ on CJ crime. CJ on CJ crime.
I hope.
Yeah.
These dudes have been resting for so long. Like, imagine being able to sleep for 8 hours a night. Like, I haven't slept for 8 hours a night in forever. One night of 8 hours of sleep, I feel like I can conquer the world.
Yeah. Yes.
Sleep is everything. Sleep is everything for real.
Yeah.
They've been off forever. So it's like I fully and Arrowhead is gonna be it's gonna be cold. But it's
and that's a key to the game too. Like, okay, I can at least say CJ's been there before. Like, the Texans, at least they were there like a month ago.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different because it's the playoffs, so people understand that. And like they're like every fan should be extremely motivated, should be extremely loud. Like, as you were saying, Lexi, like you're on the precipice of like history, like something that has never been done in a 105-year league.
Ever.
Right?
Isn't that crazy?
Like it's crazy. So like if it's a third down, you should be louder than you were on December 15th. Like that's how this works. Like this game is more important than that one. So it should lead
My-
you to having a greater advantage, which is the whole reason why you wanted
Yeah.
home field to begin with.
Right. And I mean, I was listening to the Texans press conference from today, and I love D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud both. I
Yeah.
think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fit there. I think they're perfect for the Texans. They're both great. But listening, I'm not trying to knock CJ by saying this, but he just sounds so much more inexperienced than Patrick. He is, but like listening to the difference in these two players talk is wild about a playoff game. Like the stuff that he's saying versus what Patrick's saying. I'm like, I think.
Can I share something kind of off that point, Lexi? I'm gonna look this up really quick because I looked it up. I want to say 2 days ago. Whenever we found out, 2 days ago when we found out that yes, it's going to be the Houston Texans. Mm-hmm. It's a little. It's not a secret. I mean, you could easily find this on the internet.
What are you about to say? Oh my God.
They're not as good of a team on the road as they are at home. And that speaks
they lost by 2 in front of me. I mean, they scored 2 points in front of Beyonce.
Yeah. But at least that was at home. But they are.
That's what I mean.
They like their inexperience kind of comes through. Like you can't, like, you guys are more talented than the Jets. Why are you losing to the Jets on the road? Why they got stomped against the Vikings on the road. Obviously they came to Kansas City and lost. I just like they have not been the same team from what I watched. They have not been the same team home versus on the road. And so they play in a weaker division. So hey, if you beat Indianapolis by 2 points in Indianapolis to start the season, not great, but okay.
Yeah. Whatever.
Their only other wins on the road are against the Patriots, the Cowboys without Dak Prescott, Jacksonville, who's not trying to win anymore, and at Tennessee, who's also not trying to win. They're a different team, and that speaks to some inexperience. And again, I don't even mean that in a bad way, but it's just like some of the stuff he was saying, like, I'm just like, okay, you are still a year 2 quarterback, well, he's doing his best.
His name's D'Amico. D'Amico hasn't been a head coach for that long either, right?
Right.
So I mean, both of those things.
They were both together.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just something to think about. It's like, this is not that was one of the things that, like, I'll never forget about 2018. That was like, man, like sometimes you work this hard to get this advantage, and then you're like, and then it's Tom Brady. Everything. It's Bill Belichick. Oh, they know how to win on the road. It's like, well,
that was tough. That was I cried.
I cried. So at least this seems like an advantage compared. This seems more like an advantage compared to, like, when they played the Patriots or a team that's got more experience than them.
No, absolutely. So who would you say are your X factors on the offense and then defense, and then give us your score prediction, and then tell the people where to find you? I know I just said 4 things to you.
No, it's a lot easier than the play calls that I hear from time to time, where I'm like, what? What? Huh? What does that mean? Yeah. When I literally have to ask,
we got to get you to dinner.
When the Z in whatever. Okay. I think for me it's Hollywood and Kelsey. They're kind of like a duo. Mm-hmm. On defense, it's Jalen, and I mean, I can't go wrong saying Chris Jones just because he's still.
I think he's hungry.
He's still one of the best pass rushers in the league. I mean,
absolutely.
So I will say, like, if he gets pressure on CJ, that's not a good sign for the Texans.
Well, and their starting guard is out too. So.
Yes. Right. Yes.
And CJ might get hit one time, and that'll rattle him, and he'll look like Sam Darnold.
Yes. I have a ton of respect for Joe Burrow, but I will always remember that Joe Burrow wasn't right in that 22 championship game because he was getting hit by Chris Jones constantly. And and it sort of, like any human being, it affects you. Like we saw it with Sam Darnold, we've seen it with Joe Burrow. Now we'll see what happens if CJ can navigate that. I think the score is the Chiefs have not scored more than 30 all year. That's something also to keep in mind. They've scored 30 a couple times. They have not scored more than 30.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
well aware.
I'm going to keep the trend going statistically. So I'm going to say 30 to like 16, 17, somewhere in there.
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-score win too.
Yeah. By the way, the Texans scored 19 points in the first matchup, and that was with, such a terrible thing, but that was with Tank Dell.
Yeah,
Tank Dell was good in that game.
He was very good at the beginning. He was very good.
He was good. Yeah. I have one last quick little question for you. I want to sneak in. Just about something I heard Joe Blymeyer say in the press a few weeks ago.
Blymeyer. Yeah.
Blymeyer. There's so many names I mess up.
Yeah, it's fine.
But he was saying, like, there's still a whole, like, arsenal of things we haven't even gotten into with D-Hop. Have you heard anything on that? Like, do you think there's some stuff we haven't unlocked there at all with D-Hop? Because I'm really intrigued by what he said, and I haven't forgotten it. So
I'm good on you for not forgetting that.
I pay attention.
I think there's a myriad of stuff that they could do, man. I just like it's gotta be nerve-wracking. Because you don't know what the Texans are doing. You don't.
Right.
But there's like a history with Andy Reid where it's like, oh, we haven't seen that play. No, we haven't run that play since like 2016. And you're like,
what are we doing?
What? It's like, hey, well, like, how long? I remember asking this, like, how long y'all been working on a play? Yeah, we've been doing that since October. And I was like, they're gonna throw the ball to Nick Allegretti in a playoff game. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've been practicing that all season for most of the season. And so there's stuff where, hey, we think this is how they're gonna react to us, or whatever the formation is, and like, okay, maybe to Joe Blameyer's point, like, if they do that, we gonna do this, and it's the beauty of the game. I completely understand. I remember this is 22. I remember because he was traded during the season. So maybe this is similar to D-Hop. Not saying that exactly because I haven't heard, but I remember in 22, someone said, if he stays healthy, and that was the big if he stays healthy, there are going to be things that we're going to do with Kadarius Toney that no one else has ever done.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, what the hell does that mean? Like, what? And now we all know what corn dog is. Just because
and I love corn dog, every rendition of it.
Yeah.
Everyone. Whichever rendition you want to bring.
Yeah,
Tom and Jerry corn dog.
Yeah, they somehow found out in like a practice that, like, obviously there's tape on this, but like, I mean, Kadarius was fascinating because he just moved different than other people, and so based on like his jerkiness, like they found this like thing that they could do with him, and then you match it up with like the Eagles' tendency, and it's like, you're telling me in the biggest game of the season, you're gonna get this man wide open. And not like, hey, we did this great design from like the 40-yard line. No, we're at the 5. Like, how can he be this wide open?
I mean, wide open.
My mouth like dropped, and I was like, "There's no way."
No way. Like, like, did he fall down? And then you watch the replay, and you're like, no, he didn't fall down.
Well, they had no idea.
Yeah, right. So, I don't know what the equivalent is for DeAndre Hopkins, but you never know. Just something to keep in mind.
That's what
which I'm glad you have, because it's it's piqued my interest to kind of get into that. Like, so what are we like? One of the best feelings, because they can't hide this stuff forever, obviously. But one of the best feelings talking to people right before game time, and they're like,
I don't know.
Saying you might want to keep your eye on this. And you're like, okay, I will do that.
Sure will.
Sure will. Well, my prop bet of the week is like a anytime D-Hop touchdown. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
All right, Nate, tell us about Harrison Bucker and then tell us where people who are listening can find you so we can get you out of here.
Jody's nervous about Harrison Bucker. I
have anxiety about Harrison Bucker, and I do not have anxiety a lot. Well, that's a lot.
I'm good, but she's a little concerned.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I'm more concerned about Harrison Bucker than the left tackle.
Okay. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I understand your concern. I think there's more credence, there's more reality, as I like to say. There's more reality in being nervous about Harrison Bucker than like the rest versus Russ situation, right?
Right.
Guys, he's not going to be healthy. Like,
I know.
I should have said that earlier. Like, yes, everybody is healthy. And even though like he's not on the injury report, I mean, God bless him. Dave Toeb's like, he had surgery. Of course, he's not going to be fully healthy.
Yeah, he's not going to be. Yeah.
So here's my wonder, and I will hopefully watch it before the game, pregame and tweet it out. But I don't know if Harrison Bucker's range is beyond 50 degrees in freezing conditions in Arrowhead, and I think people need to perhaps get adjusted to that, because it's not going to be like last year where it was like whatever it was 4 degrees and just awful
-30 wind chill.
Yeah. We thank God we're not going to do that again. But but I do wonder, like, if they're at the 45 and it's a the equivalent of like a 61, 62 yarder.
Do they go for like
I don't think
down,
I think they either go for fourth down or you play field position and trust your defense. I'm not sure they're going to ask Bucker to all of a sudden make 60 yarders when he has struggled. The last time we saw the team, obviously he only got one opportunity in Denver.
Yeah,
it didn't go in.
Right.
So I understand that concern. So I just want the audience to realize his range might be less than it usually is. It might be in like the 50, 51, 52. Maybe we push it if it's like the end of the half, or obviously if we need it to like win the game.
Yeah.
But most times I just wonder if he'll have, his accuracy has been the issue, and he keeps landing on his
he still keeps doing it. I'm like, he's gonna have another surgery in the off season.
When I rewatched it, I'm like, he's literally just like falling. It doesn't look fun.
He didn't change it.
He's not going to change. He's not going to change it.
He's not going to change it.
So, but again, there's I know Jeffrey says we call him clutch butt kicker. There is no more clutch kicker in NFL postseason history.
I call him clutcher.
I still believe I still believe he has the highest. I gotta look this
in
up.
Playoffs,
I still believe
believe
he has the highest percentage based on like certain amount of games and kicks
but
and all that.
Probably the least healthy he's been going into a postseason, right?
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, not good. I mean, an ankle sprain is one thing. It's his knee, guys. It's a whole different situation. So
our offense shows up. Yeah, score touchdowns.
Score touchdowns.
Get him into like the 30-yard range if that's what has to happen. Like get him into the 40.
It's right on corn dog if you got to go for 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Offense.
Nate.
I was gonna say, like, offense has carried us through, no, offense hasn't carried us the last year.
Couple years, it's been defense.
Butker came through for us a lot last year, so offense has to do their job this year and get us there instead of relying on field goals. So
very good point.
Nate, thank you for hanging out with us today. Please tell the 2,500 plus people who are tapped in with us right now. Also, y'all need to make sure you like on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. Hit the like button.
Yes.
Please tell the people where they can find you this week.
It's very easy, guys. It's theathletic.com, and everywhere else it's just by Nate Taylor. It's just very simple. I was smart enough a lot younger to just say, let's just put just like it comes out on the newspaper, on the website, like
by Nate Taylor.
By Nate Taylor on I'm mostly on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. Although I mostly use Instagram just to be like with friends and be silly and whatever. But like if you want to reach out there, great. I don't know if I'm going to break any news there, but and then obviously with KCSN and Only Weird Games and those lovely people there, that's great. I think I'm talking to Carrington on Friday, Carrington Harrison of 96.5 The Fan.
On the drive.
So on the radio, on the drive. So wherever. Who is my all-time favorite Chief? It's Dante Hall.
Absolutely. Great answer. Great answer.
So no.
Great
when I was a kid, it was Joe Montana because everybody loved Joe Montana. But I mean, every time I see Dante Hall, I just smile because I'm just
listen. That's who got me into Chiefs football. I met him at the mall when I was like in like 7th grade or something.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
And he
great, fantastic human being, and
just awesome.
It's a different era.
Yeah,
it's a different era of football. It's a different era of football. There really won't be another punt return, kick returner.
No,
unlike him and like David Hester. Like it's just a different sport. But yeah, great human being. Love him to death. Done a bunch of stuff with him, but no, he's probably like my all-time favorite Chief if I had to do it.
I love that
personally.
I do
too.
By the way, he was like what 5'9"? I mean, he's my height. Like he's incredible. Like if you see, like I get to see how big these dudes are, and there's no way in the hell I would ever be successful in this league. And like he did it. Right. It's incredible. It like blows my mind every time.
Jody and I were at a Boulevard because I can't even see it. Boulevard event a few weeks ago with Creed and Trey, and we're like looking up at them like, you guys are like,
oh my god,
giants.
I'm like, I got skills on, and you're still like 1.5 feet taller than me. This is crazy.
A tower.
Yes,
this is crazy.
Like, hey, love you fellas, giants. Like just it's. I mean, you. I remember seeing Aaron Donald in person, and I was just
oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
How do you block that? Like I just was like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. And you're telling me he's athletic, coordinated, smart, can like do all the pass rushing moves. How are you supposed to block him?
No.
And he has a brilliant personality. Like what?
Yeah, right.
Same with Chris Jones. We saw him and we're like, good Lord, like let me just like turn my head. Like I can't even.
I don't think people realize. I don't think people realize Travis Kelce is like a legit 6'7" person.
He's
also
huge.
He's
gigantic. Yeah. I don't. By the way, just runs a 4.5, 4.6. Just. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Humans can do that.
That's why it looks like slow-mo when he's running. Like he runs so fast, but it looks like it's in slow-mo.
Like, he's so tall.
Moving in slow motion. Well, thank you for hanging out with us, Nate. We know you have things you got to do, and I am very timely. I am a timely person. So we got to bring you back on. Good luck this weekend at Arrowhead. We'll definitely be listening in. And I think you guys have a show on Thursday too, right?
Yes, Only Weird Games will be on Thursday. So you can check us out. We'll break it down as best we can. Try to have some fun along the way, and I'm so thankful, so appreciative for you ladies having me on. And again, congratulations, 100 episodes.
I had
nothing to do with the 99 before.
It just so happened that it all worked out, and you're here for 100.
Exactly. We can't help it. We can't help that the playoffs
how it happened.
Episode 100. It's like poetry.
It honestly feels kind of perfect. Episode 100 going into the divisional round. Like it just feels kind of like meant to
poetic.
Yeah, very poetic. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
we'll definitely bring you back on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely bring you back. So thank you.
All right. Good Chiefs. Thanks, Nate.
Have a good night.
Yes, you too. Good night.
Night.
So Lexi, love Nate. We've been trying to get him to come on.
He's great. Like,
what is your schedule? Like, when are you coming on? He's like, love him dearly.
Great.
But before we get out of here, let's go ahead and Thanks, Mom. Before we get out of here, we definitely want to talk about the divisional weekend because there are 4 great games that are happening this weekend.
Yes, we can get into this.
So we got to talk about those and score predictions before we run out of here. So let's kind of get into, before we get into this, let's take a moment and talk about Underdog Fantasy. This segment is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. If you have not downloaded this app, you need to download the Underdog Fantasy app, and you can use promo code Kingdom Queens. Right now, there is a free square for, is it Travis Kelce? God, I gotta go look. There's a free NFL square right now for a Chiefs. I'm like, I just saw it and I can't remember it off of the top of my head, but you can create pick'ems, and you can do at least a minimum of 2. It has to be 2 teams, so you could do somebody on the Chiefs and somebody on the Texans. You can pick up to 8 players, and by doing that, you're really increasing your odds to have a higher payout for your prize. And it's just super fun. And because there's so many great games this weekend, I feel like the best way to go about it is to like pick one person from each team who you know is going to be successful, because you have a better hit rate by doing that. But me and Lexi, we've had a ball on there. We've just been picking different things between different games. You can also do live picks too while the game is going, so you can at least like see what's happening, so you have a better understanding, and you can cash out. I won over the weekend, even though the weekend was very tough, because why did Saquon Barkley not get a touchdown?
Man, I thought that was a given. Like, I thought it was a given.
I can't. Like, that's like 3 weeks in a row. He's on my ban list now. I'm no longer going to put him on my team
anymore.
No more. Yeah. Sam Darnold, Ghost, like, it was a mess.
The second we don't bet on Saquon, he will get the anytime touchdown.
Absolutely, but he's banned right now, so I'm gonna just take Jalen Hurts for throwing at least 1 touchdown. So,
apparently,
shout out to Underdog Fantasy again. Download the app, use promo code Kingdom Queens, and you can get up to $1,000 bonus deposit match by using our promo code. So download that now while you're listening to us. And if you're listening in on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We've had Nate Taylor on for the first hour and 20 minutes of the show. If you missed it, you just need to go back and listen to it from the beginning. But make sure you go like the episode, comment how fabulous we are, and we appreciate you. But let's get into these Saturday games. So it's so funny because I feel like I have been telling y'all that the Chiefs were going to play the early game on Saturday. I said that last week on the episode, and I'm like, y'all are not new Chiefs fans. Y'all have literally watched our history. You know, I'm talking about the world of Chiefs fans. I'm like,
the world.
No way, because if we win this week, we will have the night game for the championship game. Yeah. That's how it's been the last few weeks. So,
and they flip-flop every year, so it's not hard to figure out. But
and we're the most rested too, so that's like maybe another factor.
And that's why the Lions are also playing Saturday night. It's because they're the most rested.
The most rested, so, exactly. So let's get into Texans Chiefs. The Texans are coming to Kansas City. We just seen them within the last 4 weeks. Last time it was a cold game. It was like maybe 30 degrees, but it's definitely going to be colder this game than it was last game. And we already kind of talked about the game. So again, if y'all missed it, you got to just hit the rewind button and go back.
Listen back. And we will post this podcast on Apple and Spotify tomorrow. So if you missed anything, feel free to go listen back.
Oh, wait, no. We're the 3:30 game, but we'll do our score prediction last.
Yeah, we'll do ours last. Yeah. Let's get into the other one.
I was just like, oh, wait, but if you look at the slate, I'm just going to boot us to the end.
We got to end with it.
So the next game, which I just want to say how much I love the Commanders, how great Jaden Daniels is, how clutch Terry McLaurin is. He's somebody I'm definitely going to put on my ticket for a touchdown or receptions. They are the night game going against the Lions.
Can I add to that? I put him on mine a few weeks ago. What was their it was when they played the Falcons on like Monday night.
17. Yeah. It was week 17 and he didn't score a touchdown.
He didn't do anything. I had him for like 4 catches. I think he had 1.
I took him for a touchdown.
He's kind of on my no list right now.
But he just cashed me out this week.
I know.
I'm not mad at him.
He was great.
I'm like, I'm not mad at him this week. So the Commanders are the 7th seed. The Lions are the 1 seed. They're traveling to Detroit. I actually don't think they've been there in years. So
honestly, I don't know the last time the Commanders played in Detroit.
Who they said, have they said that David Montgomery is playing this week? I seen a report that said like he was doing something. Yeah. And I was like, is he already like healthy and back? Like what in the world?
Montgomery injury.
I could have swore I seen something yesterday or today. That was
wow. He was a full participant today.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wow. So okay.
He may be playing on a Saturday, which I mean, I would say that he would be. So who do you think wins this game between the Commanders and the Lions? And everybody in the comments section, I want to know who do y'all think wins this game too?
Okay, so I agree with what you said. I love Jaden Daniels. His poise was so impressive to me against the Buccaneers. I think I took the Buccaneers to. I think you took the Commanders. I took the Buccaneers to win. It really came down. It came down to the final seconds, and I was thoroughly impressed with what we saw from Jaden Daniels. Like, man, that guy. The moment was not too big. He's just really fun to watch. I never say this about anyone. I do not say this. He reminds me a little bit of Mahomes.
Absolutely. I said that in the group chat the other day. Like,
right. Not like Mahomes the same exact style, but
no, what you mean is like the way that he's calm, cool, collected. He knows how to be clutch in late moments. He does have those same mental mistakes that Patrick did his first year, like his first year. I see a lot of the similarities when it comes to that.
Exactly.
Like being able to control the team, let them know that we're going after it. Like 1000%. Totally agree.
Right. And so I don't know. I think the Lions are going to win this weekend, but I do think the Commanders are going to put up a really good fight. I think it's going to end up being the Lions just because I feel like they're kind of on a team of destiny, same type of thing the Chiefs are on right now in a different way.
Yeah.
But I do think the Lions are going to win, but I do think it's going to be a really good game. Like, I'm really excited to watch it. And I think Commanders fans, if anyone's watching, you guys have a special guy in Jaden Daniels. Like, I cannot wait to see what he does.
I think the Lions are going to win too, but I think the Commanders are going to give them hell the whole time. Yeah, Jaden Daniels isn't scared to play in a loud environment. He's made that pretty clear all season long, and they're pretty healthy. And who knows what, Terry McLaurin, which I'm sure they're going to have a great plan for him, but Zach Ertz and the rest of them, who knows what the game plan is going to be for around them. So, Commanders fans didn't even think they were going to make it this far anyway. Right. So to see what they've been able to do this year, like, you can only be excited for the future. So I do think the Lions win, but I also think, like, don't be surprised if you see the Commanders back in the playoffs next year.
Oh, absolutely. I think they will. Yeah. And they're going to have a lot of money to spend, and they don't have to pay Jaden yet at all.
Right.
So,
and who would not want to go play with him? So, like, I'm really excited.
It's such a fun team right now. Like, how would you not want to go there?
Right. I can't wait to see, like, their draft process, too. Like, the guys they bring in. Like, I think they're going to have a really good offseason, too. So, anyway. Sunday.
There's something else I was going to say, and I'm, like, losing my train of thought. There's something else I wanted to say about Jaden. Whatever. We'll move on from it.
So Sunday,
I know what it was. You reminded me when you said that. I was watching something yesterday or today where it was like a segment where they were saying how impressive it's been that the Commanders have won all these close games and how Jaden Daniels has led them all to these victories and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, interesting that the Chiefs have won all these close games and we get faulted for it.
Lord forbid we have a one,
but it's a good thing. It's a good thing to win close games.
That's that's what makes you clutch. That's what makes you good, being able to go pull the game out and win even in the last second. And Baker Mayfield was really good. Like,
he was.
Baker,
I mean, it just came down to the
Mayfield has had a great season. Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally came down to who had the ball last.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Which is anyway.
So Sunday, I'm actually glad the slate is earlier and not later. The Rams versus the Eagles. The Rams in LA are traveling to Philly on a short week since they just played yesterday and they got to play on Sunday. Traveling to Philly to play against the Eagles, who they played their last game. I'm like, they played in week 18. So Saquon didn't do well. Saquon was good, but he didn't score a touchdown. So I'm angry, but that's another conversation.
Same.
Like another conversation. Jalen Hurts was just okay.
My thing was, do we think he was fully unconcussed?
So the reason why I would say
he didn't look like himself.
He hasn't looked like himself lately. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah, Rams versus Eagles. The Rams defense clearly put on a clinic last night.
Yeah.
Clear clinic.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like if they're able to get to Jalen in that way, and Jalen is known for turning the ball over or fumbling the ball.
I'm really excited to see that trenches matchup between the Eagles O-line and the Rams D-line.
That's going to be so good.
Oh my God.
Like, and I'm also going to say that Sean McVay is a better coach than Nick Sirianni. So I think he can run circles around him too.
So are we both about to lean the same way on this?
I'm definitely leaning Eagles. Like, I'm sorry. Rams.
Okay, yeah.
I definitely think that they are able. They're coming off of a high right now. They're trying to put it on for the state of California.
City.
Like, they are rolling.
Yeah.
Like the Eagles are good, but like none of their wins have been impressive. The Eagles are a really good team because of Saquon Barkley. And I mean, of course, AJ Brown's really good, but he did absolutely nothing. He was reading nothing. He was reading books on the sideline.
Also sold my parlay.
Thank you, he sold me too. I took him for some receptions too.
Yeah.
Freaking Devontae Smith, who is great. He got hurt, right?
No, but he just he wasn't a factor.
He just wasn't. But is that because Jalen was just
I think Jalen was off, and I think that threw the whole game off, to be honest.
And maybe it's a matter of them. Who did the Eagles play week 18? I can't even remember.
I think the Giants. Yeah, it was the Giants because they wanted Saquon to break the record against.
Yes. So maybe it was, but they played in Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
Who did they play last week?
The Packers.
So, well, no. I was going to say maybe it was a matter of them not wanting to open up their playbook, but the Jordan Love and them could have beat them. So, I don't know.
It was a game for a while till the end.
Yeah.
Like, it was a game. So
I don't know. I mean, I definitely could. I might go Rams this week too. Because
we both took the Rams last week. I'm sold on the Rams right now. I'm buying what they're selling.
I am absolutely buying what they're selling twice.
I freaking love Puka Nacua. He is like my favorite receiver that's not on the Chiefs. He had like one or two really good plays.
That ain't
enough. Falling off a little bit.
I think Triple Crown. Like what?
Yeah, he's. I think injuries and I don't know, but Puka, I love Puka. He's fun.
I do too.
And I love their running back. Kyron Williams is awesome.
Kyron. That was Kyron scored. No, I'm lying. But yes, Kyron scored immediately, like on the first drive. So, yeah. So yeah, no, we're both going Rams. So the last game, which is, we're gonna be honest, the best game of the weekend. The best game of the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Like the ratings for this game should be
absolute cinema.
It's gonna be so good.
Absolute cinema.
Get a bottle of wine. I'm gonna sit on my couch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat chips. And I am going to watch. I'm not going to move from my couch, but Ravens versus
locked
Bills.
Locked in.
MVP versus MVP.
Oh man.
Allegedly, right? Allegedly. This is the best game of the weekend.
Easily.
We should have asked Nate who he thinks wins this game.
I know, shoot.
We can just shoot him a tweet like, yo, Ravens versus Bills. So the Ravens are traveling to Buffalo to play Josh Allen and them. Great matchup. Somebody's out.
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers is. Have they officially said?
Let me see.
Oh, I don't think they've officially said he was out yet, but he was out during the wild card game. I know one of our friends is in here right now, Ravens fan, Barbershop. If you are still listening.
Yeah, tell us what's up.
Have they said if Zay Flowers is officially out yet for this week? I know that he did not practice, but I think he's going to be a game time decision. I think we'll find out 90 minutes before.
Let's see.
I think we'll find out 90 minutes before. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think right now they're saying it's a toss-up from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So
Zay Flowers is a difference maker. Like Isaiah Likely is really freaking good. Mark Andrews is having one hell of a season this year.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Derrick Henry is who he is. The Bills defense is awful. They're not going to be able to stop the run. I think that Mark Andrews is still going to.
I don't know. They held the Broncos to 7.
The Broncos?
I mean, I know, but
I'm like, Zay Flowers is
questionable.
Okay, thank you for that. So, yeah, no. So, yes.
Okay. My thing is I'm not fully sold on the Ravens defense either.
Yeah, no, their secondary is not that great.
So,
like, their secondary is not that great. No.
I'm like this game is literally 50-50. It's literally a coin toss. I mean,
the only thing I'll say is I think the Ravens defense has started projecting up and they're trending better than the way they started. And the Bills defense, to me, just kind of feels like they've been the same. Like, you haven't really seen Edge.
Miller.
You haven't really seen a lot of, like, you've seen Miller, yes, in the Broncos game, but it's the Broncos. Like, how do I nicely say that the Broncos had a really good season, but didn't nobody expect them to make it to the playoffs?
Right.
You know, the Commanders are better than the Broncos.
Commanders, yeah, for sure.
Our defense is number 1 since week 9.
He's mad at me.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. I feel like I've heard number 1 about like 10 different teams. So
yeah, I don't believe that fact at all. And I'm definitely.
I think maybe in some statistics they are. Maybe in some different statistics.
Which is fine. But yeah. So I think the Ravens have the better running back. I think the Ravens have the better tight end.
Yeah.
Who's the Bills receivers right now? Amari Cooper and who?
Khalil Shakir, Mac Hollins, Curtis Samuel.
Versus, well, if Zay Flowers is out.
Versus Rashad Bateman.
Who was
I can't think of. Why am I blanking on the Ravens?
Well, Rashad Bateman has definitely been better this year than last year.
Yeah, he's been great.
Okay, I'll say the Bills have the better wide receivers.
We got Tylan Wallace. He's been pretty good. Aguilar, who's been decent.
Yeah.
So
who has the better O-line?
Bills O-line is insane.
Josh Allen has been standing in the pocket for days.
He literally just stands there.
It makes me so mad.
Oh my God.
Where is the pressure? I was like, why has he been standing in the pocket for 10 seconds?
It's insane. In the hell? They definitely have the O-line. D-line, I would take Ravens.
Absolutely. I think Lamar has better legs than Josh.
They both have good legs, though, in different ways.
Josh has good
Lamar's
legs.
Faster.
Lamar's
faster. Josh is harder to take down.
He's more shifty, too.
Yeah.
Like, slippery, isn't that the word? Slippery.
Very slippery. Yes, very slippery.
God bless. I think the Bills have the better kicker. That's unfortunate because I would have never said that years prior.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't know. That's hard.
Justin Tucker, his season has been rough.
It's been rough.
And maybe he can be clutch in the playoffs.
Yeah. He was good last week.
He was good. I mean, and that's all that matters. Like in the last minute. So like when you look at this game, like they're evenly matched. Like it's going to be good. This game better not disappoint me and be like a 6-3. It
won't be 6-3. It's going to be like
it better be over 30 points total for both like combined.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins? Before we get into who do you think wins?
Oh.
Who's the MVP? Who is the MVP of this season?
I can make a case for both of them.
Yeah.
I can make a case for both. I think Josh has done a lot more with less.
Yep. People didn't think that he would have the season that he would have without.
People thought they were going to fall off to the Jets
because of Stephon Diggs left.
Yeah.
Lamar has the better stats, though.
He has the better stats, but he didn't last year and he won.
Which is crazy.
So, like,
a lot of people try to say that the Ravens' success is mainly based off of Derrick Henry and not necessarily Lamar.
I think Lamar's played out of his mind. I think Derrick Henry obviously helps, but like
he definitely helps. Like Jalen Hurts should be looking better because he has Saquon.
Okay, let's say you swap teams and you put Lamar on the Bills and you put Josh on the Ravens. Who do you think has a better seat? Like,
Josh would probably have
I think he would definitely have a better season.
Would probably have a better season with the Ravens' weapons. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Ravens have the better coaches than the Bills. I would take the Ravens coaching.
Kind of why I give Josh I think he's the MVP for me. If I had a vote, I think I would vote Josh this year. And I think it's because of, if you look at every circumstance that they're both going through, I think both have played phenomenally. I'm not taking anything away from them. Like, I think I would give it to Josh. I know his stats aren't as good, but
I think that's a great answer. I think the only reason, and I've actually been saying Lamar a lot. I'm like, it's Lamar.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I can see
I don't want Josh Allen to have anything. I'm a hater. But I think the only reason why, well, there's two things. I think the only reason why Josh would get it is because Josh beat the Chiefs. Lamar did not.
That's true.
So, like, if you look at it, he's the reason we were 15-1 for so long. And Lamar lost week 1, which technically it's week 1. Everybody's rusty. Everybody's getting their lives together. Like,
doesn't really matter.
No real chemistry or anything right now. And so in my mind, it was
win those games.
They should have won.
Yeah.
And they could have won, right? But if you look at what just came out, the All-Pro votes, Lamar was first team All-Pro and Josh was second team All-Pro.
He was, yep.
Lamar had 30 votes. Josh Allen had 18. And those voters are the same voters in a sense that are going to be the MVP. Ones that are going to declare the MVP. Yeah. So if you go with it based off of that, it might be Lamar.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't be mad at that. But I also feel like Josh Allen needs something. Josh Allen ain't got nothing. All he got is his longest starting streak.
Oh my.
So I think that would be why they give it to Josh.
He did beat the 1 seeds. He beat the Chiefs and the Lions. Josh did. And this is a Ravens fan saying that.
Yep.
I think
so, I
can go either way. If I had a vote, it would go to Josh this year. But I think Lamar's played out of his mind, and I can absolutely.
It's hard. It's hard. Like, and honestly,
and they're both gonna like be playing like they want that award on Sunday. So they're both gonna be playing like they're the MVP deserving whatever.
And the thing is like, they already make the vote before the playoffs. So like they already know.
Yeah. It's already done.
But they don't know if they won yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't know. So I feel like they're both going to be like, this is why I deserve MVP. And it's going to be like an insane game. So
yes, it's going to be insane. Okay. Who wins this game?
Oh.
This is so hard.
I've been very back and forth.
I have to.
Today, for some reason, I feel like it's the Bills that are going to win. I know. You don't have to agree. For some reason,
they're at home. That would be the only.
They're at home. That's a big thing for me.
If they were in,
I can see like
I actually have the Ravens winning,
and I can see that too. I can see both ways.
It's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Yeah.
Whoever has the turnovers, they're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Whoever loses time of possession, they're going to lose that game. Like,
I don't think either defense is going to be able to do a ton because I think these guys are going to be men on a mission. And I think James Cook is a little bit slept on, like on the Bills running game. I think he can be a big factor in this game. I think Khalil Shakir, their number 2 wide receiver, is a little bit slept on the Bills.
Lamar came back from being down in the standings in the North. You're not wrong. However, the Steelers lost their last 5.
Steelers are. I can't even.
Out of the last 4 games, they needed to win 2, and they didn't
try.
They didn't even try. Now, granted, one of those teams was us. They weren't gonna beat us, but
yeah. Well,
still,
yeah.
I think I'm going Ravens. I think the Ravens.
Yeah, I think that's good. You pick them, I'll pick the Bills, and we'll see what happens.
If the Ravens give up on their running game, they're going to lose the game. If they do not stick to the run, they are gonna lose.
And I don't think they will go away from it. I think they will stick to the run game.
I mean, but
I don't know because they're gonna try. They're going to try to showcase both quarterbacks on both sides a lot. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough.
Okay, I'm so glad it's not us.
Oh my God. Thank God. It's not.
I'm so glad that Patrick Mahomes told y'all in training camp that we was going to win the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. I have never been so glad for it to not be us.
Thank God.
And the thing is these 2 teams are going to fight. They are going to battle. They are going to be whoever comes out of this war, because that's what it's going to be. They're going to be beat up when they have to play whoever for the AFC Championship game, which better be us.
Should be us. Knock on wood. I don't see us losing.
Better be us. But yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens this week. I'm gonna go Ravens.
Good. I'll go Bills. You go Ravens. We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be so freaking good.
I think that's the thing is everyone expects the Ravens to win. Like they probably should.
I feel like a lot of people expect the Bills to win.
I don't know. I've seen it both ways so many times. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
it's giving the same excitement for when it was Chiefs Bengals.
Yeah.
It's like that level of chaos. Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. Okay.
I'm so excited.
Chiefs Texans. Who wins Chiefs Texans? What's your score prediction?
The Chiefs. Yeah, definitely the Chiefs. I mean, of course I'm gonna go with us.
Yeah.
It'll be a good game, I think. I think their defense is gonna give us some trouble for sure. Their lead linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair has been really physical all season. He's very good.
Might be limited.
Might be limited. That's our only hope is that he is a little bit limited. But
I'm hoping to tape Pat's ankles up to his thighs.
Yeah. So
tape him up to his thighs.
He's running like a robot out there. But no, I think the Chiefs win. I think we make a statement this weekend. I really do. But I'm still gonna say, like Nate said, I think it's like 30-ish points.
He said 30.
I want to go.
He said
I want
30.
to go. Yeah, I want to go one over. I want to say 31.
What?
I think we finally score over 30. I think we get 31 to 21. 31-21. That's my prediction. I'm gonna write our predictions down so we can go back to them.
I think it's the playoffs and the switch is flipping on. They've been conservative for 17 and a half weeks. Well,
yeah.
16 weeks. They've been conservative for 16 weeks. Andy Reid ain't let the arson out yet. And I think now it's like, we're in the playoffs. We're not holding back nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I think they open up the playbook a little bit this week. Week, I think they open it a little more this week. I will not be surprised, like, if we win this week and then next week Andy's like, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? So,
I think so.
I will say I think that's the advantage of us playing the Texans, the Ravens, and the Bills this season. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's why when you watch those 3 games, they were kind of vanilla and you didn't see a lot and Andy didn't do a lot. And yeah, so I definitely think that we win this week. I think it'll be like a 28-17, 28-16, something like that. Okay. I don't think we score 30 this week. Lord, I don't know if we score 30 anymore this season. So
I don't know.
Because at the same time, Andy's not going to show more than he has to. So if we get up by 10 points, he's going to be like, all right, defense, go get the ball back. Offense, go run the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be like. So, yeah, that's my score prediction.
I think he shows as much as he needs to in the beginning, and then you feel out the game. And
he's like, all right, let's go home and go watch this Sunday night game and see. So I'm excited to get back to Arrowhead. I haven't been to Arrowhead in a month.
Yeah, you're going to have fun. I'm going to be dog sitting this weekend, so I will not be there. But
I'm like, our last home game was the Texans game, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I didn't make it the game, and that story doesn't even matter. But I haven't been to Arrowhead in a month, so I am excited to get back out there.
Yeah.
My warming vest delivered today.
Oh, good.
So I am so happy. If you are going to Arrowhead this weekend, it is going to be cold. What does the temperature say as of this current?
Cold. There's like a 10 degree wind chill, 0 to 10 degree wind chill warning. So
it says it's a high of 34 and a low of 15. But for instance, it's 11 degrees not right now, but it feels like 7. So I fully expect it to not really get it. 34 might last for like 22 minutes. And then it's
I'm not thinking it's gonna last very long. So
the gates are supposed to open up at 11 a.m. But if you know, they will probably open the gates an hour early because that is just what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tickets are actually not super sky high right now, which is shocking because it's gonna be cold. So there's still a chance for you to get onto the Autograph app and go buy a ticket for this game because they are not very high right now. But let's get out of here. I want some dinner.
Same.
Great games this weekend. Again, shout out. Say it again.
I said it's been a great show.
What'd you say?
Great.
Yeah, today was a lot of fun. Let's get into these last few brand sponsors. Shout out to Homage. Very excited to still be in this brand partnership with them. They are having different things right now on their website for the playoffs too. So just make sure that you log on there, see whatever they have going on. They usually always have a free shipping code, but lots of great vintage style type clothing with them. Cute jackets, hoodies, and all of your winter apparel that you will need for this playoff run. And then lastly, shout out to Boulevard Brewery, which I kind of crinkled my can a little bit. But shout out to Boulevard Brewery in Quirk, where I know that people are still doing a dry January, and that's totally fine, but I am not. So they do have a lot of mocktails and things that you can get right now with them, but Work is one of their best brands here in Kansas City. All the seltzer drinks that you can get, and they're delicious, and they're like 100 calories a can. They have all types of great beers. They actually brew here in downtown Kansas City, which we love them for. And they definitely have so many cute like mocktail things on their website right now. So if y'all haven't got on there, make sure you go tap in with Boulevard Brewery as well. Other than that, thank you to the almost 3,200 people listening in right now. And y'all know what I'm about to yell at y'all and tell y'all to do. If you are on YouTube, as I'm pulling it up on my phone right now to see what y'all are doing. If you're on YouTube,
give us a like.
Up on my phone right now to see what y'all are doing.
Oh, I'm like, why is that repeating?
It was on my phone. If you're in there, it looks like there's about 30 people in there listening right now. Please go hit the like button for us right now. Shout out to everybody listening in on Twitter, Twitch, and all of those other places. We truly appreciate y'all. And like Lexi said, you will be able to go back and listen to this episode with Nate Taylor, again, our special guest for our 100th episode, who hung out with us for about an hour and a half today. You can go back and listen to that the episode with him in a few hours.
If we do a giveaway, it'll be next week, by the way. We're trying to figure that out right now. But
yeah, we will definitely be doing a giveaway.
101. 101st episode.
Definitely will, but
1,000, that'd be crazy.
Right? Oh my God, can you imagine? Anyway, that's a whole lot of episodes. But other than that, do you have anything else, Lexi? Because I have nothing.
No, go Chiefs. Let's go get this win. Let's go on our run for the 3. Let's get this win. Get to the championship game at Arrowhead where it belongs. Let's do it.
One game at a time. Back to the Arrowhead Invitational.
Yeah.
Praying for safety for everybody hitting the fields today.
Yeah. Anyone, everyone.
Everybody hitting the field. All teams. Safety. Yeah. So other than that, y'all have a good night and we will see y'all later.
Love y'all. Bye.